So everyone, and welcome to the top 5 best maps for Hat in Time made in February. Now February sadly wasn't that great of a month either, however, there's some good stuff on the horizon. I've seen some really good stuff that is going to come up, hopefully March, maybe April. Some great stuff is going to happen, but until then, we're going to take a look at what actually happened in February, and yeah, there's been about 5 good maps, I would say. So first off, we have on number 5, Kingdom in the Clouds by Salty Lettuce. Now, the great part about this map is that it actually uses a lot of different music tracks. They're all originally created by the map creator for this map, which I think is pretty amazing. Um, the other than that, it does have multiple acts that you don't choose from, like when you go into a stage regularly in Hat Time. You have different paths that lead to all different places. And they all lead to their own act. One of which was the start, not the starting point. Well, one of those acts he has already released at its own map sometime before. I forgot what it was called. Skyline Adventure, I think it was called. So yeah, this is the full map with all the different acts. The reason why this map isn't any higher is, other than this map having different acts and having cool original music, there's just not that much there. A lot of the gameplay is fairly tedious and repetitive. This is like the sort of stuff that you see sometimes when you don't quite know what to put in the map, so you just take any object from the you're going to your editor, pull up the list of objects, you take an object and you just copy paste the object like 5 times and make jumps out of those, and it's like, okay, that's gameplay. But the thing is, I can see that Salty Lettuce really has the passion and the know-how and everything behind it to make great maps. But this is exactly what I want to do, is because I can announce it right now. I'm going to do a special video series where I talk about level design, and I want to reach people like Salty Lettuce who have the passion, but the level design just isn't quite where it should be. Level design is fairly uninteresting, but I'm gonna make that video series where I talk about level design, and we're gonna work on that. I'm gonna talk about all the different ways how you can make your levels play absolutely amazingly, and yeah, hopefully that's gonna be great, starting sometime soon. Next up, on number 4, we have PopUp Battlefield by Blackside. Not much to say here, it's PopUp Battlefield. Apart from, well, I can also mention that it also uses some custom scripting. Like, for example, I didn't show it off in the video here, but the bob-ombs actually work like bob-ombs. If you get close to them, they start smoking and they follow you, and then you can pick them up, and if you pick them up, they also start smoking if they hit them before, and after a while they explode. That's pretty amazing. Sadly, the warps don't work. I tried the warps, whatever. I also didn't try the cannons, but I don't think cannons work either. However, the 8 red coins work, and they also look like 8 red coins, so I guess it's not too difficult to do with Hat in Time tools. The most important part is that the chain jump works. The chain jump works exactly like it does in SM64. That's pretty cool. So yeah, overall, quite enjoyable. Nothing, I mean, apart from it being PopUp Battlefield, there's nothing too special there. But the thing is, like I said at the beginning of this video, February wasn't a really cool month either. So stuff that's just this is good enough for top 5 already. If you don't believe me, look at all the other maps that came out in February. No, sorry guys. Next up, we have a similar map, but one that even plays a little bit better and is a bit more interesting. It's Jellyfish Fields by Deltona CAN. It's still work in progress, but I don't care, it's still on the list. It's Jellyfish Field from SpongeBob SquarePants. I don't know exactly what the game was called. I remember playing this game back in the day on PC, I think it was. It was like, it came out after the movie. I don't think it was called Battle for Bikini Bottom. It was like, I don't know whatever it was called, but it was like the movie, the game. That's not what it was called, but it was like the game to the movie. I remember playing that. I think certainly was PC, it might have been GameCube, whatever. So yeah, this is Jellyfish Fields. It plays nice. It plays nice. It's just solid. It's very solid, and that's pretty good. Just having something that's really solid. Speaking about solid, next up we have Oceanside Dream by Jack. So this map, as you can see, it's kind of like a bit like Limbo. Of course, I only need to mention it when you look at this map, it's like Limbo. basically you're playing on a 2D plane, and the map is sort of like, what would you say, monochrome? Kind of, not black and white, but like black and red or black and orange or whatever, black and green, all the different kinds that you can have. So it not only looks nice. Yeah, I mean, the looks is pretty much the greatest part about the stage. It looks really awesome, actually, to play and see what's going on. And also the background and everything. Oh, nice. I like that. I like that. The background for this stage is actually amazing. It's actually amazing for this stage. The gameplay-wise, it's a bit up and down. There are some places where you can probably see on screen right now, you can just go, just keep jumping, and stuff happens. It's not super amazing stuff, but at least it's very solid, and you don't really stumble over your 2 feet too much, so it's nice in that regard. However, there are some other places where it just doesn't quite work as much as it should, and it has some stupid jumps in there where I'm like, why is this even in there? I don't know. It's a bit ups and down, it has its edges. One problem is also that the way that locks you onto a 2D plane, at least, I haven't done this myself, but at least the way I assume it is it gives you an invisible wall in the front, an invisible wall a little bit behind that, and then you move in between those, and then you're kind of like locked to a 2D plane. The problem is that if you're not holding exactly left or exactly right the control stick, or even if you do and the game registers it as you moving a bit forwards or a bit backwards, you can sort of rub against those invisible walls, and if you rub against those invisible walls, it can slow you down and even make you come to a crawl in the middle of your jump. And whenever that happens, it's extremely frustrating, and there's not too much I can do about it. Like I'm trying to hold as much as I can in the exact direction of left or right, and I still somehow bump into the invisible walls, and I just come to a crawl in the middle of my jump, and it is quite frustrating. Something that isn't frustrating is our number 1, which is color block 4. Oh, by the way, before I go to that, I've already said it now. Color block 4 is put on screen. Put something else on screen. It's by Flame LFH. Put something else on screen for Oceanside Dream. Look what I did, Jack. Look what I did. I don't know. It just happened. Anyway, Color Block Fortress, put that back up. Color Block Fortress by Flame LFH. What else can you say other than just take it in? It's a great stage. It's big. It's got all the different gameplay aspects. It looks nice. It's got the great music. So it looks nice. It's got great music. It has so many different types of gameplay. It's got some NPCs, so some guys you can talk to them, and they've got interesting stuff to say that isn't cringe, which is actually quite a plus for maps nowadays. I mean, I've played some other maps that had like the most amazingly cringe text for NPCs, but whatever. This one is alright. Wait, I keep trying. I need to focus on this because it is very important to state that this map has very, very varied gameplay. That is something that you don't see too much in a lot of other maps. Like, I know that, for example, if you look back at Oceanside Dream, don't pull it back up. You do have different gameplay going on, of course. Like, sometimes you need to use Dweller Mask, sometimes it's bouncing on orbs, which is like 2 or 3 different types of gameplay. But in this map, you even have stuff like timed challenges. You have stuff like puzzles, where you need to press buttons to make platform move and then carry stuff over there. You go swimming at some point. This is not just, I put a different type of block in here. This is a completely different style of gameplay that we suddenly have here. And this is what I want to see more of. I know it's not that easy to just snap your fingers and say, hey, this is a completely new, different type of gameplay you haven't seen in other stages like underwater stuff. But I think if you can do it and it doesn't impede anything else going on the stage, like in here, amazing. Really amazing. Really like that. I also like the secret area, which I thought was a bit too easy. Anyway, that was that. That was it for February. Next up, like I said, I have my series where I'm trying to go a bit into level design, where I make some videos. Maybe I'm gonna create a stage and have a time along with my series. I don't know about that, because I don't know if I have enough time to spare for that. Between working and exams and studying and everything that's going on. But if I do, that's great. So yeah, that's gonna be next, and hopefully March is gonna be amazing. March has to be amazing. Of course it has to be. Anyway, that was that. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys next time.